it's LoverGng, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Yes, you read that title right. I have managed to live in 8 apartments, and I'm only 22 years old. Of course, I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of tips and advice and knowledge and just expectations on it because I don't know how old everybody is, and everybody can honestly use this knowledge. The giveaway of 5K subscribers is still going on right now, so give me the 5K subscribers. 10 people win $50. Get me monetized before then, and you guys win a lot more money. But remember, the universe brought you here for a reason, and I have a lot of reasons, so you might as well stay to find out.
Slowly, you don't wonder what they do without me. Keep my product all up around me.
When I say each apartment, I am going to be saying like the names of them too. Just because if you are in Charlotte or plan to move to Charlotte, I want you to see which side of Charlotte and just the apartments that I did like in the apartments. Have a, clear idea on those because one of y'all might be able to move there. When I first moved out, I was 19. It was really like March of 2021. I had just gotten my car. I got a new position at my job. I was living life, y'all. But the first apartment complex was Pleasant View in Charlotte. It's on the east side. I had worked with this lady a whole year prior and got to know her. She was very godly and she taught me a lot of stuff. And I always opened up to her and she was like, if you need anywhere to go or anywhere to live, of course you're welcome. So when I moved out, she's the first person I moved in with because, I didn't know nothing about nothing, moving out, apartments, rent, what is this? So she helped kind of get me with the understanding of it. When I first moved in with her, I think I was only paying $200 a month, which it was a 2-bedroom. I was in my own bedroom. Now, keep in mind, I was not there though. I would say when you first move out, have as much fun as you can because life is going to hit you at a point after you first move out. And just the happiness you find when you first move out by yourself and you're just on your own is just it's untouchable. And like literally when I first moved out, me and my friends was out every single night. We was going to parties. We was in penthouses, on penthouse roofs, on pools. We would every night. We would go places like to eat, hang out, going on trails. I was going out of the state. I was having a good time. So I say when you first move out, have a good time. Don't let the world get to you immediately. At least give yourself a month to just enjoy life because when you are moved out, and you're just an adult now on your own, it's just hard to find just that time again where you can just have fun without having to worry about bills. I know that I'm going to get to that point where I can be back in that happy place to where nothing mattered, but I'm working on it. That apartment was okay. It was a nice apartment inside, but outside the neighborhood, it's not a big apartment. It's a really small apartment complex. It's nice if you want somewhere to live, I'd say. I lived there March and April of 2021. I ended up moving to Bexley and Concord. Concord is on the north side of Charlotte. It was really nice. Now, I really like that apartment. It's beautiful inside, outside. The gates ain't always closed, but it is a nice apartment complex. I lived there from May to June of 2021 because the person that I moved in with, they got kicked out of the apartment complex. So we had to find a different apartment. Next place that I ended up finding myself at was Thornberry. Now that's in the university area. It's considered basically the north side of Charlotte. It's really nice. Now that apartment, listen, it was a 1-bedroom, but the living room area, it reminds me of where I live at now. The living room area was huge. The kitchen, well, no, my kitchen is way bigger, but the kitchen was a nice, it was nice. The bathroom was a big space. The room was nice. Everything was nice about it. And then the community was really nice, as well as just everything. I would give that one a 10 out of 10. I lived there from June of 2021, July of 2021, all the way to beginning of June of 2022. So I stayed there for the whole year. When I was living at Thornberry, the rent was $1,000. I didn't pay rent at Bexley. But yeah, when I was living in Thornberry, it was like $1,000. It wasn't bad, and it was split halfway, of course. And then the next apartment I moved into was Rush. That's student living. I highly recommend. I think that might be one of the best student living places. It's kind of small, I'd say, but it's really nice. Like, it's really nice. It reminds me of a luxury apartment. Like, everything that you need to do is inside the building. The pool, the exercise room, the common area. Everything was really nice. They had elevators. It was a really nice apartment. I was paying like 800 and something living there, but I had one other roommate, so it's less expensive if you're living with 3 other people. I would give that one a 10 out of 10 too. That was also in the university area, north side of Charlotte. That one's a 10 out of 10 because the room was big, the closet was huge, and the bathroom was huge too. And you don't really come by that too often. It was a lot of space, and then even the kitchen was huge too, along with the living room area was fairly small, but it was still enough for like you to sit down and watch TV. But it was really just like the kitchen that, like, I love a good kitchen. When I get my next apartment that's a luxury apartment complex, it's gonna have a nice kitchen because I love me a good kitchen. Y'all done already seen mine from the Gen Z couponing video, and if you haven't, go ahead to that video, watch that video, because my kitchen is nice. I lived there for June till July of 2022. I lived there so shortly because it was a sublease. The way student housing works is they do it August to August. They do a 1-year term, August to August, but I just subleased some girl. So I went ahead and just moved into there for the 2 months. If things look different, guys, I'm so sorry. I literally just took a food break. After living at Rush, I ended up moving in with my partner. That only lasted August of 2022 till October, barely even October. I want to say like really September of 2022. It was just time for a new apartment, and so we ended up getting our own apartment, and that was on the south side at 22 Branchview. Now, it was nice on the inside, but if you're looking for somewhere that like you feel safe, I wouldn't say, I mean, not that like you could be scared or anything living there, but I just know how certain people are. It's not a gated community, and it's on the south side, and it's not the south side. Like, if you're from Charlotte and thinking about south side, like Providence, no, it's like South Boulevard. It was nice on the inside. It just, on the outside, it just wasn't giving, but I mean, that don't make an apartment. So next place I ended up moving to was the Glen at Lanier in Stockbridge. That was my first apartment when moving to Georgia. It was a nice apartment outside. It was pretty nice on the inside too, but I didn't like the people that worked in the office, which is crazy because as soon as I moved out, they replaced the whole staff. But I wasn't really too fond of the people. I'd give them maybe like a 6 out of 10 because I had problems with moving there too. Like, we had an ant infestation and everything. Yeah, no. I moved there because I had to switch my job, and Atlanta was where it was at, so that's why I moved from Charlotte to Atlanta, and we were only there such a short amount of time. But yeah, I ended up living in the new apartment at the Glen for like a year, the whole year's lease, because it was a nice apartment. I mean, it was enough to live there. We never went swimming or anything, but yeah. And then I stayed there till this year. Literally January 2nd is the day I moved out, or 3rd, one of those days. But I moved into my current apartment. My current apartment is my favorite apartment. Just like the inside, I don't know, like I don't like anything else about the apartment complex, but I really love the 2-bedroom and how inexpensive it is, because without all the extra fees, it's like 14. And it's like a 2-bedroom. It's really, really nice. Hardwood floor, kitchen's big, living room's big, rooms is big, closet, like everything is big about it. So I enjoy living here the most. But yeah. And when I was living at Rush, like right before I moved out, I got an apartment complex with 3 other of my friends. But I just started like stuff just started like not giving. And two, even when I was living at Rush, like I was with my partner every single day. So it was just like, I mean, you finna go live somewhere you're not finna be at. And not to say this, but you just can't live with certain people. And people be like, well, you can't live with friends either. Yeah, you can live with a friend, but one, 3 friends is a no. And then two, I don't know, like I just don't like girl roommates. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but just anything can happen. I'd rather move in with a partner and deal with that than to move in with a friend and now y'all fist fighting. You feel me? With first moving out, it was fun. It was really nice. And I got lucky because, like I said, I was living with somebody. She was sweet. I didn't pay that much. So I got to live my life. And that's why I say, like, enjoy the time while you can when you first move out. Because that summer was fun. Like, my 2021 summer was fun, even with moving the 2 moves into the new apartments. Like, that stuff was fun and I enjoyed it, but it did start getting real at a point where it's like, okay, you're having fun, but you have to pay your bills at the end of the day, and you have to have gas, and you have to have insurance, and you have to have a phone bill. It was just too much stuff that starts happening. You have to find a balance before you can have fun again, unless you find the balance before. But with getting my first actual apartment, I was the leaseholder. They do run your credit, so when you apply for an apartment, first things first is you're gonna have to have $200 or $300 set aside just to apply for the apartment, unless they're running a deal. So look at all the apartments that you want and see if any of them are running a deal. But more than often, you have to pay like $200 up front, and that's just to lock the apartment and for them to process your application. But after that, they run your credit. You're gonna want to beforehand too just look on their website, because most apartment complexes, or you can even call, they'll tell you like, yeah, well, this is a credit score that is more so recommended, or this is how we do things. And apartment complexes nowadays too, whenever it comes to paying rent, when you actually are in an apartment, they do let you split rent nowadays. Like I can't think about what it's called, but it's a way you can split your rent up into 2 different payments, I guess. That is really good for people who are like, well, I want to move, but I don't know. But yeah, you have that option. And then even going up to the office, because a lot of apartment complexes offer that option. But when you go up to the office and ask for an actual payment plan, which they don't enlighten people about, they will be open to giving you a payment plan. When you first move into an apartment, you're going to want to have at least $2,000. And if you have bad credit, you're going to want to have at least $3,000, because what happens is they usually make you pay the prorated rent. And a lot of places, if you move in like too late in the month, they make you pay prorated plus next month's rent. And I found myself in a position with one of my apartments where I had to pay next month's rent, a big amount of prorated rent, deposits, and then on top of that, another month of rent. And that's why I say, make sure your credit's straight. But the only apartment I didn't really pay that much was when I was moving into Rush, because that's student living, and they just made me pay the first month's rent, so I didn't have to pay first month's rent. And that was nice. I like that. With them adding fees and the deposit and just certain stuff, like that stuff can get really high, so just make sure you have enough money for that. And on top of that, even a lot of times when they make you pay a month of rent ahead, you move into the apartment, they're still gonna make you pay next month's rent, just because like that's considered your deposit. So be wary. Check the crime rate in the area, because some apartment complexes have a lot of high crimes and you just aren't aware of that when you move in there. So check the crime rate and also the amenities they have, because you can get an apartment complex that doesn't have a washer and a dryer, and God forbid they don't even have a washer and dryer room in the complex. So check for washers and dryers, check for if it's a gas stove or if it's electric, if you have to pay a water bill or a gas bill or electricity bill. See everything that you're having to pay for and what it's actually going to. Like, okay, I gotta pay for the alarm system, cool. I gotta pay for valet, cool. I gotta pay for water, cool. Like that stuff is usually incorporated in your rent. And then you're gonna need renter's insurance, which renter's insurance is fairly cheap. It's usually like $15, $25 a month, or you can just do it with the apartment complex. The only reason I say you shouldn't with the apartment complex is because that only covers like, I guess the apartment complex. It don't cover your stuff for real in the apartment complex. So be noted of that as well. If you have any pets, you're gonna wanna look at the pet fees because some pet fees range from $300 to $600. A lot of places even make you do a monthly $15 to $30 a month extra just because you have a pet. A lot of places don't allow certain breeds or allow only a certain amount of cats or dogs. So you're gonna wanna have to look at that too, because if you're an animal lover and they come in the house, they will charge you a fee for not telling them that you had a pet, or they will go ahead and charge you for that pet. But if you do have a pet, a way around it is to just get an emotional support letter. They literally just fill it out online and just email it to you. It is around like $100 though, but I mean $100 versus $300, like which one you taking? An important one for me when moving into the apartment is the gym. One of my apartment complexes, I wanted to go to the gym, they didn't have it. This one does have the gym. The last one I had, I was upset because the gym, oh, I told you guys in a video before, the gym was only open during office hours. This gym is 24 hours, so I am gonna get in the gym because on the weekly vlog, you'll see like, I was gonna get a dumbbell, but I was like, I just need to go to the gym and stop being scared. All in all, it has been stressful with moving from place to place and just trying to maintain rent. One of the things I learned is places do let you pay rent late, but they just add extra charges and then they give you a certain date before they like file the court or whatever. And then as long as you pay your rent before you get an actual letter from the court for you to be served to go to the courthouse, you can't always still just go up there and be like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and pay it. Or even when you get that letter, if you go before the date to pay it, like you have time to pay your rent. They make it seem like you don't, but what I've been learning is you have time, but don't take advantage of that, because I took advantage of that. And what I would say the downfall, because that's like a little hack, is you can pay your rent late, but the downfall at the end of the day is that they're more than likely not gonna let you renew your lease if you would like to. I don't care because I'm not renewing my lease nowhere. That's just that. This is Dior. Getting an apartment is not that hard, I'd say, especially when you're young. If you haven't messed up your credit or anything, you're good. You just have to have at least the money, because even if you don't have credit, you're more likely to get approved than somebody who has bad credit. Remember that one. I recommend when you move out, move in with a friend, but move in with somebody maybe for a couple of months. And let it be somebody that you've never argued with, anything's gone wrong, and you just kind of can give that in that situation. If not, I mean, it's always nice to live by yourself. I just don't recommend the student living because, like, maybe with one other person, but when it's all those different personalities, especially girls in one place or even guys in one place, it gets overwhelming, or just anything bad can happen. But being an adult and having your own place is so fun. It's just so much freedom. You get to do whatever you want, literally, like, just sit there and think. I can walk outside right now. I can walk 5 miles right now, and ain't nobody coming to get me. And it don't matter because my bills is paid. The realization of having an apartment, standing in your first apartment, I've cried in even like 3 of my apartments, because sometimes it can be hard and it may seem like you might not be able to get it, but just always be hopeful, because like I said, I've cried in my apartments first getting in there. Like, I didn't think I would be able to make this happen, and I made it happen. Glory be to God. That is how I've managed to live in 8 places, and I'm only 22. It was a long journey, it was, and it's just gonna continue. I'm probably gonna live in about 40 places by the time I'm probably even 30, because I'm just spontaneous, and when you got money, nothing matters, honestly. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really do. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. If you want an apartment tour, feel free. Comment LoverGng to enter yourself in the 5K giveaway. 10 people will be winning $50 at 5K subscribers. And like I said before, if I get monetized, I will get more money before then. So help me help you. because I have a lot coming. And the universe brought you here for a reason, and I'm so glad you stayed to find out. So I will see you guys in the next video.